Hey guys, good afternoon. Today is, I believe, Tuesday, July 7th. I'm not sure when this video will go up, but just want to introduce myself. I've been in maybe a couple videos real early on our channel, and brother Matt, he's been doing a lot of these videos lately. But I figured I would just jump in here and show you guys around the yard a little bit, maybe show you some things that Matt hasn't yet. And he's actually out on a landscape job today, and as some of you may know if you've watched previous videos, we have a few small businesses that we run, and it's always kind of pulling us in other directions. So to start being a part of these videos, if I can, if I get a chance, and do some myself, and maybe I'll show you some things we haven't yet, or if I do repeat some things that Matt has already recorded. But we're definitely not YouTubers by any means. We run a firewood business and a landscape business and a supply yard mainly, and we're just having some fun trying to record some of what we do and show everybody around. Yeah, we obviously use these IBC cages to store a lot of our firewood. That's the seasoned firewood that we do. This is how we dry it, primarily in these cages. And we also do kiln dried firewood, so that there's not really a whole lot to see because it comes straight out of the kiln and to the customer usually. So there's a lot of product that also goes out that way, and it's not as impressive because you don't see it, stored in large quantities. But that's also a big part of what we do. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and ramble a little bit about our business and show you guys around the yard a little bit. For some reason, a lot of guys in the firewood industry, I'm not saying we're a large scale firewood operation, but a lot of the guys that do, there's definitely larger operations than we have, and for some reason they keep it kind of secretive, I think. Yeah, a lot of the bigger operations, they don't show a whole lot of their process or give away much information, but I really don't understand why. The truth is, nobody's getting rich on firewood. You're doing good if you can make a decent living selling firewood. So I don't see any reason to keep anything from anybody that's interested. And whether you have a firewood business of your own and you're trying to grow it, or you're simply just interested for the entertainment value. It's been 15 or 20 years really since we sold our first firewood, and it's definitely grown since then, but we're not even close to where we would like to be with the firewood business. But it's definitely a very simple business model, we feel, compared to some of the other things we do, and that's why we really enjoy it, as well as just being able to take a raw material and turn it into a marketable product, and we take pride in producing quality firewood, and there's definitely, we have a market here of customers that value the product that we make and are willing to pay a premium for it. That's a big thing with a firewood business. If you don't have a market of customers that see a lot of value in firewood, you kind of have to change your whole business model and make a different product for less money to be able to sell it for less, for people heating their homes with wood, for instance, or just that look at firewood in a different way. I think we've kind of found a little niche here in our area. We're just north of Atlanta. We sell a lot locally to the Atlanta area. Our company's called North Atlanta Firewood, but we've also started selling on our website boxed wood, and that can be purchased nationwide. you know, as far as the Atlanta area, it's a good market for you know, people just burning fires for pleasure, and you know, they're not burning it to heat their homes. They're in $2-3 million homes, a lot of them, and they're just burning it for the experience. We definitely enjoy the firewood industry, and we're willing to share everything. You know, Matt showed already a lot of our process and how we do things, and there's not really any secrets to it. I'm just gonna walk around the yard a little bit and show you guys, you know, some close-ups of some things. And this is our disc cleaner, and this is where the finished firewood will fall out. It'll fall onto these discs, and as they rotate, they'll move the firewood across and out into the conveyor, and all the scraps and bark and things like that will fall into this this bin we have here, and we end up just burning all that. But you can kind of see from underneath how there's space there for the small fines to fall through, and finished firewood will come out here and fall into this conveyor. And then above it is the tumbler that sorts out the larger pieces. The tumbler will put a dump trailer here, and so the spacing on it, I believe, is 4.5 inches. Everything will come right out this end. I'm trying to get you guys a little bit more, you know, close-ups of things. This thing, I think, is probably sitting 8 or 10 feet off the ground. It's a 10 or 12 foot tumbler, probably 12 feet long. The disc cleaner is 10. But yeah, basically the wood tumbles around that drum, and if it'll fit through those gaps, which are 4.5 inches, it will fall into here and go into our finished wood. After the firewood processor is, you know, several steps that firewood goes through. We're not running it from a processor into a truck into a customer. You know, that may be a good business model for some markets, but our customers expect, you know, clean firewood without bark and dirt and trash in it, and they expect a certain size split. So that's what we do for our market. There's several steps after it goes through the firewood processor, as well as the seasoning process. Here's a little bit of seasoned oak right here. Yeah, and the kiln drying process as well, of course. Here's what we call resplits. So these came off that tumbler, and these are just larger pieces that need 1 or 2 more splits before they're to the size we like. Here's a couple skid steers that we use on a daily basis. I know you've seen these on the channel, but I believe, yeah, this is a 2011 T190, and it probably has, I don't know, 4,000 hours on it, probably around 4,000 hours, and it just keeps on going. We really like trucks and equipment that are paid for. They may not be the prettiest and the nicest to operate, but you know, it's how we run our business. Try to be low debt, very few payments, and it's a little easier to make money that way. So yeah, we have this 2011 T190, and this is, I think, a 2010 S330. I don't know if it shows on camera, but this is a much larger machine than that one. It'll lift a lot more, lift a lot higher. This is primarily used for loading customers that come to our supply yard and need landscape materials. And we'll move firewood with it as well. This is about a 2-yard bucket. It's 84 inches wide, and we move a lot of firewood with that in a hurry. There's the firewood processor over there. But yeah, I really just wanted to start being a part of these videos, and hopefully I can start doing a lot more. I'm on the landscape jobs a lot this time of year. It's June, or it's July, sorry, and we're in full swing with landscaping for another couple months at least. We do try to shut it down about September, October time frame to really focus on the firewood when it starts selling. We still sell some now to restaurants and things of that nature, but the firewood's definitely seasonal. We do the landscaping to kind of fill that void. These are some of the baskets that go in the kiln for kiln drying. These are advertised to hold a half a quart of firewood. I don't think they really do. You'd really have to pack it in there, but you know, it's close. I know you guys have seen this. This is something we're really excited about, this asphalt pad. We're just starting to use it, but I think it's something like 15,000 square feet roughly of asphalt area that we're starting to store these baskets on. These are propane tanks that our kiln runs on. You can run it on natural gas or propane. Ours is set up for propane. I think these are 1,000 gallons each, so 2,000 gallons of propane there for the kiln. There's a diesel tank, 500 gallons. And then over here is the kiln itself. We just have one. There's several operations out there that, you know, they're running 10 or 20 of these things. But we're fairly new to the kiln market, so we just have one for now. The inside is lined with stainless steel. Here's a basket of hickory right here. I wish you guys could smell it in here. It smells pretty amazing. Yeah, so this is what the inside of a firewood kiln looks like. If you guys are ever curious. These will be gone pretty soon. We'll be running another batch. There's a lot of duct work up in the ceiling, and it's a little more than just making a container hot. There's a lot that goes into the ventilation and heating of these things. I think we're probably in another video we're going to get more into detail about how we deliver the firewood and that process. We do a lot of online sales. You know, I think having a website is a must when you're in the firewood business. This is some of our landscape supply materials that we offer to customers. Drive up, pick up, and as well as delivery. We do a lot of deliveries. I'm looking forward to expanding this as well with more products as we build more bins and start getting palletized material as well. We're out here in White, Georgia, actually, probably 30 miles north of Atlanta. Maybe 40 miles north of Atlanta. But this area is growing, and we feel like we got here at a good time where things are going to grow up around us, and the landscape supply is going to start to get busier. It's hard for me to get into firewood mode lately because I've been 100% focused on these landscape jobs we have that just take up so much of my time and attention. But this is a shipping container. I think it's a 40-foot shipping container. In between it we have another shipping container over there, and in between we have a roof structure that just shelters some of our firewood waiting for delivery. But inside these containers we run power, so we have lighting, and pretty simple way to just have some extra storage. The landscape crews and myself and my brother, we all work together and do a lot of hardscape projects. sod installations, that type of thing. Here's a saw we use for cutting pavers. There's a sod cutter, tiller. There's a compactor we use for consolidating pavers after they're installed. But yeah, these containers have really come in handy. We got I think they call them high cubes. I think it's like a 9-foot ceiling, and we got a little roll-up door to access out into the sheltered area there. We've had the landscape business since 2009 at least, really earlier than that, and do a lot of landscaping work still, although we're trying to phase it out. Really appreciate everybody that's subscribed lately, and you know, we're really looking forward to building more and more subscribers, and as we grow this channel, and we'll eventually start to, you know, look like we know what we're doing when it comes to holding a camera and recording. But yeah, as of now, appreciate you guys bearing with us and sticking around. But I'm gonna get out of here for now. It's about time to go home for the day, and hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one.